Hello everyone, I'm Ki. In today's era where people are extremely focused on beauty and appearance, this is especially true for women who care deeply about how they look. In order to make themselves appear more attractive and stand out from the crowd, many have chosen the path of plastic surgery. In fact, there are many celebrities who have undergone cosmetic surgery, they just haven't admitted it publicly. Minor plastic surgery that enhances one's looks a bit is not necessarily a bad thing. However, when one becomes overly dependent on cosmetic surgery to satisfy vanity and the desire for attention, that is when they begin to push themselves into an abyss where they gradually lose their true self. On the 13th of June 2020, on the stage of the program Super Speaker, a post-2000 internet celebrity named Jo Chuna appeared. She not only publicly revealed that she had undergone no less than 100 plastic surgeries, but also claimed that she had spent at least 4 million yuan, an amount equivalent to the price of a luxury sports car. In this program, Jo Chuna talked about her own plastic surgery journey. The girl with big eyes, a pointed chin, and doll-like features looking almost like a Barbie had already gone through 3 years of cosmetic procedures. It could be said that, except for her skull, she had altered almost every part of her body. The plastic surgery clinic had basically become her second home. But what was even more frightening than her overly modified face was that she began her first surgery at the age of 13. At an age when her peers were still growing and developing, Jo Chuna had already started to go under the knife repeatedly. Looking at the early photos she posted, although she couldn't be called an extraordinary beauty, she definitely wasn't unattractive or pitifully plain either. So what could have driven such a young girl to make such an extreme decision? In the show, Jo Chuna said that from a young age, she had always tied youth and beauty together in her mind. Later, when she attended an international school at 13, this belief grew even stronger. At that time, her female classmates were all young, beautiful, and radiant. The boys treated them politely and attentively. Yet Jo Chuna, being slightly less attractive, was assigned the hardest and dirtiest cleaning tasks and even had to endure cruel words from male classmates. So, Jo Chuna made up her mind she must become beautiful. To take a shortcut, she chose plastic surgery, hoping to transform herself from an ugly duckling into a white swan. Unlike other people who felt anxious or scared before surgery, Jo Chuna was full of anticipation for her soon-to-be changed appearance. When the anesthetic was injected, instead of closing her eyes in fear, she picked up the nearby mirror and took one last look at her original, untouched face. Fortunately, that first operation was a success. With that, Jo Chuna entered the circle of beautiful girls she had long dreamed of joining. She gradually made more friends, and after tasting the sweetness of success, she couldn't stop. While others only made small adjustments to look more natural, she aimed to become a real-life Barbie doll, determined to completely transform her entire body. She had double eyelid surgery 8 times and opened the corners of her eyes as many as 20 times. From then on, Jo Chuna became completely obsessed. She went on to have full-face bone shaving, rhinoplasty, facial microsculpting, fat grafting, breast augmentation, and even surgeries on her thighs and knees. She tried them all. Although it's human nature to love beauty, and countless people hope to change their destiny through plastic surgery, few are as extreme as Jo Chuna. In less than 3 years, just to look prettier, she spent as much money as the cost of a luxury sports car. But the price she had to pay went far beyond that. During her obsession with surgery, she felt her body was not perfect enough, so she got breast implants. When she thought her hair wasn't thick enough, she went for a hair transplant. Eventually, Jo Chuna reached the point where she only needed to look at a photo, and if she thought any part of her body needed improvement, she would have it altered immediately. After a series of operations, Jo Chuna's eyes had grown so large that they occupied almost 1/3 of her entire face. Her chin had been shaped into a sharp V-line, but it looked so pointy that it resembled a cone, appearing very unnatural. When asked by reporters whether she knew that plastic surgery carried great risks, Jo Chuna said she did, but that she never regretted it. She said she loved the thrill of surgery and enjoyed the changes it brought her. However, it wasn't long before Jo Chuna began to taste the bitter side of cosmetic addiction. Repeated surgeries caused her body to develop multiple health problems. During that time, she even wrote on social media, "Cars need maintenance every year. What's a little pain compared to that? As long as the result is good, it's worth it." But reality was far more cruel. For Jo Chuna, who had undergone more than 100 procedures, every day felt like a recovery period. Because of her repeated double eyelid and eye corner surgeries, her eyesight deteriorated, her vision became blurred, and she couldn't look directly into bright light. Even worse, because her eyes had been enlarged too much, she often felt severe pain and couldn't even close them when sleeping. Later, because of excessive liposuction, her skin became loose. Some nerves were damaged, and she could no longer make exaggerated facial expressions. Her overly large eyes would tear up even in the wind. Carrying all these after effects, Jo Chuna went to countless hospitals both in China and abroad, yet doctors advised her to stop. At that moment, she finally realized that if beauty had a price, it was not something she could afford to pay. Some things, she learned, are irreversible. Gradually, she began to miss her original self. One day, as she scrolled through her phone gallery, she came across a photo of a little girl with dark skin, a round face, small eyes, and a flat nose, but the girl was smiling brightly. It was a smile Jo Chuna could no longer make. On the stage of Super Speaker, Jo Chuna used her personal story to warn others, even saying that it's better to fix your mind than your face. She spoke with genuine emotion, her face full of nostalgia. But off the stage, she showed a completely different side. After the show ended, she posted a video on social media emphasizing the positive effects of plastic surgery on her life. She said that her original intention for getting surgery was to gain confidence. Thanks to her improved appearance, she had indeed done many things she had never dared to try before. Jo Chuna even stated bluntly, "If plastic surgery can make me confident, why shouldn't I do it?" Her comments after the show completely contradicted what she had said on stage, sparking outrage among netizens who criticized her for being hypocritical. At the same time, others discovered that this wasn't Jo Chuna's first lie, the most obvious one being about her age. Her date of birth had been changed from 2004 to 2006. Many netizens mocked her, saying, "So the secret for internet influencers to stay young is just to change their age." Before we dive into all of this, let us know in the comments where you're watching this video from. Connecting with viewers across the world is a huge source of inspiration for us. In addition to her nearly distorted sense of beauty and her obsession with plastic surgery, netizens expressed that they truly could not understand Jo Chuna's mindset. However, in an era where traffic equals power, controversy often brings popularity. Because of her numerous cosmetic procedures, Jo Chuna repeatedly appeared on the trending search lists. To attract more followers, her social media accounts gradually turned into detailed plastic surgery diaries. Moreover, this post-2000s influencer, who was deeply enthusiastic about cosmetic surgery, even planned to enter the entertainment industry. Jo Chuna spent 80,000 yuan to enroll in Hu Yanbin's vocal training class, and even went to participate in an audition at Lai Quanlin's company. The result was easy to imagine. With a face entirely artificial and overly modified, she could not even pass the first-round screening. In 2020, Jo Chuna announced again that she intended to sign up for the talent competition shows Produce Camp and Youth with You. It could be said that her desire for fame and recognition could no longer be contained, yet after netizens learned about it, many commented in unison, "If she's in it, I won't watch." Whether it was publicity or deliberate hype, Jo Chuna kept promoting herself and eventually appeared on a Hong Kong television program presented as a plastic surgery influencer. However, under the high-definition cameras, all of her facial flaws were laid bare. Her forehead appeared overly high, her face was swollen, her eyes were uneven in size, and the surgical marks on her nose bridge and lips were clearly visible. Faced with such an uncanny and unnatural face, online viewers mockingly said she was exposed and finished. Many netizens even commented that instead of being obsessed like Jo Chuna, focusing solely on looks and dreams of debuting, she would be better off reading more books to enrich her inner self. Yet, just as one wave of controversy settled, another quickly arose. Before long, Jo Chuna once again made herself a trending topic this time because of her shocking and tone-deaf remarks. On the 7th of April 2022, while the entire nation was still united in fighting the pandemic, Jo Chuna posted on her social media saying, "The Shanghai outbreak has really delayed everything. Not only did my 300,000 yuan tuition fee go down the drain, but even my phone won't turn on." In response, many netizens commented saying, "She's really bold to talk like this during such a sensitive time." Of course, there were also many who believed that she was simply trying to ride the wave of attention again. After all, thanks to her previous series of bizarre and attention-grabbing behaviors, Jo Chuna had already gained numerous opportunities for exposure. She even released her own single and received invitations from several television stations to appear on variety shows. Not only that, Jo Chuna also secured runway modeling jobs, commercial endorsements, and other collaborations. Furthermore, her social media accounts amassed several million followers, making her a highly sought-after rising internet celebrity and allowing her to start monetizing her online traffic. This series of actions from Zhou Chuna continue to astonish and fascinate netizens. As for her future, it's hard to predict how far she can go or what direction her path will take. But one thing must be said: beauty is a natural human instinct. Almost no one can escape its allure. Some people even spend enormous sums of money, willingly going under the knife, just to make a single facial feature more striking and unforgettable. In recent years, with the rise of appearance anxiety, more and more people have turned to plastic surgery. The influencer industry in particular has become one of the hardest hit zones. And today's influencer we've been discussing, Zhou Chuna, not only underwent plastic surgery, but was even rumored to have had 108 separate operations, enough, as the saying goes, to match every hero on Mount Liang from water margin. However, unlike ordinary people who pursue surgery merely to look more beautiful, Zhou Chuna's obsession with cosmetic procedures stems from something much deeper and unshakable inner fixation. Looking at these photos before you, some viewers might think they're seeing 1-to-1 scale Barbie doll figurines made by some manufacturer. But in fact, these are not plastic models. This is a real flesh and blood human woman. Her name is Delilah. Her eyes take up nearly 1/4 of her entire face, paired with a perfectly shaped cherry mouth and a refined high nose bridge. From the temples down to the chin, her jawline forms a flawless curve. When Delilah stands still, she looks almost identical to a Barbie doll. For Delilah, her entire life revolves around one goal: becoming a real-life Barbie doll. Since childhood, she has always thought Barbie dolls were incredibly beautiful, and her love for Barbie has far exceeded that of ordinary girls. She once said, "Barbie is my faith." Unlike other girls who simply wanted to own Barbie dolls, Delilah had a clear goal. She wanted to turn herself into a living Barbie. She has European-style double eyelids, a tall nose bridge, and cherry-shaped lips. Her facial features are delicate, but she didn't stop there. To make herself look even more like Barbie, Delilah dyes her hair every 10 days, constantly switching between various bright colors. As for clothing and accessories, there's no need to mention it. Every makeup style of hers has its own matching outfit. With the addition of light-colored contact lenses, she looks almost indistinguishable from a life-sized Barbie doll. Thanks to this unique Barbie-like appearance, Delilah quickly became popular all over the internet and was even crowned China's #1 Barbie. But people began to question, how could a real person possibly look so much like a Barbie doll? Naturally, rumors about Delilah's plastic surgeries began spreading widely. In 2017, Delilah was invited to participate in a variety show called Amazing My Heart. During the show, the host directly asked her whether she had undergone cosmetic surgery. To everyone's surprise, Delilah openly admitted that she had. But just as the audience was appreciating her honesty, her next sentence turned everything upside down. She said, "It was done while I was still in my mother's womb." In other words, she insisted she was naturally born this way. The host pressed further, asking if her Barbie-like looks were simply the result of makeup, and if she would be willing to remove her makeup live on air. Clearly, this was a pre-planned setup. On stage, Delilah removed her makeup, claiming to have been born with a Barbie face. When she took off her false eyelashes and wiped off her eyebrows, her face instantly looked much calmer, but the overly wide double eyelids and the artificially plastic-looking nose made it hard for anyone to believe that it was all natural, especially her nose, unusually tall and sharp. People used to say that some women who undergo cosmetic surgery have chins so pointy they could pop a balloon. In Delilah's case, her nose tip was equally exaggerated. To be honest, her nose looked like something you'd design in a video game, not something you'd ever see in real life. Perhaps Delilah just wanted to become a natural Barbie loved by others, and that desire is understandable. Not everyone is willing to openly admit that their face was surgically altered. But the surgical traces on her face were too obvious. It was difficult for audiences to truly believe her claim of being all natural. Soon, netizens grew curious about her bare face. While discussions were spreading online, a wealthy man offered her 4 million yuan if she would remove her makeup on the spot. Faced with such an arrogant challenge, Delilah felt insulted. She responded firmly, "I can remove my makeup in front of a national audience, but not for your 4 million. I do it because of the love and support I've received from my audience. If my fans truly wish to see my real face, then I'll remove my makeup for them." To be honest, when Delilah's bare face was revealed, it was surprising not because she looked stunning, but because many expected her to look terrifying without makeup. Yet, despite visible traces of surgery, her bare face didn't look drastically different from that of an ordinary person. Later, netizens posted photos of Delilah at a dinner party with friends. In the pictures, Delilah sat aloofly on one side. Even when her friends were laughing loudly, she remained expressionless, occasionally pulling at the corners of her eyes with her fingers. Even while eating, she only opened her mouth slightly, leading many to suspect that her facial stiffness was due to excessive cosmetic procedures. In response to these questions, Dalilah explained, "My mouth is too small, so it's inconvenient to eat. When I have liquid food, I have to tilt my head back and let it flow down my throat." Her answer, however, convinced almost no one, not even herself. Soon after, old photos of Dalilah before surgery surfaced online. To be fair, even before any procedures, she was already quite beautiful. Her looks were elegant and distinctive, though far more natural than now. Yet Dalilah was dissatisfied. After several minor adjustments that didn't meet her expectations, she became determined to go further. In order to look closer to Barbie, she kept going under the knife again and again, each time more intense than the last. While obsessively pursuing her Barbie transformation, she also began promoting herself, reaching out to influencer agencies for collaboration. It must be said that Dalilah was very business-minded. After successfully signing with a media company, her appearance finally became almost identical to Barbie's. Soon after, this girl with a striking, unusual face became an internet sensation, quickly amassing more than 7 million followers. Some praised her, saying she was as beautiful as a Barbie doll, while others criticized her as a living plastic alien. But regardless of what others said, Dalilah remained unbothered and true to herself. At the same time that her career was soaring, her love life also seemed smooth. Dalilah met her influencer boyfriend through work, and as they spent more time together, they developed feelings for each other. To avoid controversy surrounding her image, Dalilah even stopped wearing her Barbie-style outfits for a while, choosing normal clothes instead. However, their relationship quickly triggered a fan war. Her boyfriend was just a small-time influencer with little fame, while Dalilah was already a recognized internet figure. Many of her fans believed the boyfriend was only using her for fame, and few supported the relationship. But Dalilah didn't care. To help him gain followers, she appeared in his videos, and the two shared many sweet, loving moments together. At one point, the boyfriend even proposed to Dalilah, leading fans to believe they were about to get married. He later posted a photo of them holding a marriage certificate, which caused a wave of excitement until he clarified in the caption that the certificate was borrowed, saying he only hoped to one day truly marry her. Netizens couldn't help but laugh and mock the stunt, suspecting even more that the man was just chasing clout. In one live broadcast, the boyfriend even lost his temper at her on camera, slamming a cup in anger. Dalilah swore publicly that she would break up with him. Yet, not long after, the two appeared together again in new videos, leaving viewers completely confused. However, fans noticed that Dalilah's appearance had become increasingly rigid. Even her nose looked sharper than ever, making her face appear awkwardly unnatural. Many fans flooded her boyfriend's page, begging him to persuade her to stop with the surgeries. Opinions among netizens about Dalilah's extreme pursuit of the Barbie look were divided. Some admired her courage and dedication, while others strongly disagreed. In one interview, Dalilah revealed that when she first started her online career, she faced harsh criticism and verbal abuse. But she never thought about giving up. She firmly believed that someone, somewhere, would appreciate her. No matter what others said, she continued to be herself. On her personal homepage, she wrote, "One person, one style. I don't want to listen to the voices of the world. May you live elegantly, without fear of judgment. Indeed, pursuing what one truly wants in life is not wrong. Living as the version of yourself that you desire, that's everyone's dream. And hopefully, we can all become the person we truly wish to be. I'm your old friend, the Canyon Class Rep." On the road to pursuing beauty, aside from makeup and fashion styling, plastic surgery is undoubtedly a quick way to improve one's looks. Many people therefore choose this path to realize their beauty dreams. However, although there are countless success stories, plastic surgery also comes with risks that cannot be ignored. Recently, a highly watched male internet celebrity shared his misfortune in a video. Many netizens felt deep regret after seeing his before and after photos. This male influencer suffered because a fat grafting procedure failed. He claimed that after the surgery he looked 20 years older, a change that shocked people. Jin Daowei, a handsome male influencer, has millions of followers on short video platforms. Although he isn't a top-tier star, his youthful good looks attracted a large, loyal fan base. Surprisingly, after becoming famous, he mysteriously disappeared for 2 years. Jin Daowei has now returned to the public eye. In a new video, he candidly explained that he took a break because he underwent fat grafting cosmetic surgery, but unfortunately, the operation left an indelible shadow because it did not succeed. In the video, Jin Daowei told viewers that for the past 2 years he had been trying to repair his face, but even so he could not return to his formerly handsome self. Before surgery, he had a textbook handsome face, a high nose bridge, big eyes, clear contours, and a lean, defined chin that made him particularly captivating on camera. That face had brought him career success and a bright future. Yet people are seldom satisfied. Even with such high looks, Jin Do-wei remained unhappy with his appearance. On others' recommendation, he chose fat grafting, hoping to make his features even more perfect. He originally thought it was just a minor procedure, but only after did he realize it was a major operation full of risks. After surgery, looking in the mirror left him disheartened. He had lost his former youthful vitality, his eye bags were heavy, his cheeks had become puffy, and even after the recovery period, nothing improved. In the video, Jin Do-wei said that life after plastic surgery was like a nightmare. He felt he looked more than 20 years older. Compared to before, he now resembled an ugly monster. Worse still, the blow of surgical failure and the gossip around him caused his mental and physical state to deteriorate. He began to suffer from insomnia, his hair fell out in clumps, and now he always wears a hat when he goes out, looking extremely lacking in confidence. The once sunny and self-assured young man seemed to turn, in just 2 years, into a weathered, middle-aged person. In the video, Jin Do-wei was moved to tears and could hardly speak. He especially regretted not cherishing how he used to look, and he urged those considering plastic surgery to be cautious and not try it lightly, because one failed procedure can ruin an entire life. Speaking of plastic surgery, one cannot help but mention that celebrity, quote, micro-adjustments, 40%. Ever since Huang Xiaoming publicly announced his relationship with Ye Ke, discussion about Ye Ke has never stopped, mostly mockery. Ye Ke's crafted persona collapsed completely, and because many of his statements were so odd and absurd, people joked there was a whole science named after him. Ye Ke claimed he never used the school restroom when he was young because he thought it was rude to do so at school. He said his father majored in directing and his mother majored in English at Nanchang University. But netizens checked. The directing major was established in 1998, and the School of Foreign Languages at Nanchang University was also founded in 1998. Ye Ke was born in 1992, meaning his parents would have gone to college when he was 6. He even referred to himself as Laozi during live streams, trying to project a free-spirited, big woman image. He often repeated his life creed, "A move once made will never be regretted," saying that once he decides, he never looks back. He felt that attitude was very cool. He even said bluntly, "I'm not a pick-me, I'm lousy," projecting a strong personality and confidence. But netizens felt the term didn't match his temperament and style, and his micro-expressions gave people the sense he was lying. When asked by netizens whether he'd had plastic surgery, he replied, "Micro-adjustments, 40%. Such absurd lines sparked waves of parody. People imitated the science of Ye, and short video imitation skits surged. One clip of Ye Ke eating cake went viral and even trended. Some netizens said Ye Ke is inherently an internet celebrity, and by triggering a creative boom, he is a successful marketing operator. Those netizens joining in are merely pawns. Meanwhile, Ye Ke's so-called micro-adjustments hardly convinced anyone. Netizens suspected his face was a technology face, highly processed with advanced methods. Whenever he appeared in public, his skin looked so smooth and flawless that people found it unreal. Compared with his early photos, the changes were huge. Netizens dug up an old account and found his original hairline was quite high, his features flatter, and when he smiled, the nasolabial folds at the sides of his nose were obvious, very different from his now highly three-dimensional look. People said this wasn't minor tweaks, but a face swap. Does Ye Ke's 40% micro-adjustments still count as micro? What's more, his face seemed like a standardized plastic surgery template. Many surgically altered faces look just like that. Ye Ke once flatly denied opening the inner corners of his eyes, but few believed it. Internet celebrity Han Anran also joined the parody, claiming her own face had been adjusted 4,000%. As an influencer, Han Anran is undoubtedly among those best at capturing traffic. At 16, she shot to fame with a single line on the variety show X-Change, saying, "Live long, keep doing plastic surgery forever." Over the following decade, relationships and plastic surgery became her traffic battleground. Before the age of 20, she had already been married 3 times, divorced 3 times, and undergone 33 cosmetic procedures, with none of those relationships ending gracefully. Not long after she gave birth to her second child, as showbiz gossip erupted, she lamented that had she known, she wouldn't have chosen that timing to have a baby. Even so, she still trended multiple times. Not only did her delivery room become a check-in spot for major influencers coming to visit, but her partner Song Haoren even held their newborn daughter while selling products, shouting in the live stream, "While the day is festive, all mother and baby goods in the shop are 20% off." Han Anran's actions sparked debate. On one hand, people thought she was too mercenary, even tying childbirth to business. On the other, one had to admit that starting work on the second day postpartum makes her a ruthless go-getter. Han Anran entered the public eye in 2015 through Hunan TV's Exchange. Though not a star-making show, back then it did catapult many ordinary teens to overnight fame like Wang Jing's with his So Fragrant theme, later actor Li Yihong, and Gao Jiangxi, who moved countless people by saying, "My wheat is ripe." For Han Anran, Exchange became a springboard. Although on the show she was framed as being sent there by her mother for rebellion, in reality she personally applied and even watched all the previous episodes beforehand. Years later she said, "I learned the essence of those movie king rebellious kids." On the show, she sported dyed yellow hair and would lash out at her mother and stepfather at the slightest provocation. Beyond that, she had scheduled monthly hyaluronic acid injections and declared, "Live long, keep growing long, for beauty I will stop at nothing." Indeed, and her plastic surgery history is astonishing. At 19, she admitted to having had 33 procedures. Despite public backlash, she stuck to her choices, seeing surgery as key to improving self-image and gaining confidence. After the show aired, she became famous overnight thanks to high ratings, though the internet wasn't as developed then, so she was known only in a small circle as an early-generation influencer. What truly made her explode was her romantic entanglement with Ma Wencao. In 2016, he confessed to her on a program, but their relationship quickly fell apart due to outside interference and mutual disputes. Han Anran was pushed into the spotlight as the other woman, and with both sides exposing each other on social media, she remained under public scrutiny and constant censure. In just a few years, she experienced 3 marriages and multiple romances, each filled with quarrels, accusations, and mutual airing of grievances. In March 2019, Han Anran obtained a marriage certificate with Xiao Zhu, QUbec TImônG, and divorced 9 months later. 4 years later, they remarried, divorced again after 1 year. In the same year of that divorce, she had a flash marriage with Ma Zexin and divorced a few months later. Last June, she announced her 4th marriage. With each turn in her love life, she learned how to leverage public opinion to gain traffic and attention, launching a path of marriage marketing. Whether the fiery relationship with Xiao Zhu or the brief marriage to Ma Zexin, Han Anran could swiftly capture the public's gaze and earn huge income. Once widely known, her life seemed defined as a performance full of drama and controversy, romance, plastic surgery, parenting, and live stream, selling interwoven into her influencer identity. In this era where one act ends and another begins, influencers look hazy and indistinct to the audience, like flowers in the mist. At just 25, Han Anran has already experienced 4 marriages, 3 divorces, and 2 childbirths, becoming what netizens call a marriage review blogger, and she is criticized for having a love brain. She accepts that label calmly, saying, "Over the years I've often been cheated out of money by men, but in every relationship I persist. Whatever I have, I can give you." Yet being love-brained hasn't stopped her ambition. Beyond trending topics, she live streams commerce, invests in plastic surgery clinics, and makes tons of money. At the same time, those multiple marriages helped her explore a full traffic industry chain in practice. Before each wedding, she would update a wedding prep diary on social media, choosing a marital home, pre-wedding cosmetic treatments, makeup selection, and event planning, stuffing every module with products to sell. In interviews, Han Anran has said her first life goal is to keep herself beautiful forever. The second is to live in a state of constantly making money. To outsiders, she seems ambitious and bold, unconcerned with others' opinions. Yet she calls herself fundamentally insecure, hence the repeated surgeries. "You know about appearance anxiety, right? So I just kept doing it. Actually, I was already very pretty, but I used to be quick to deny myself. That really was a big reason for my plastic surgery failures. Once the knife falls, it can't be taken back." Here, the class rep also advises everyone, don't blindly follow trends into plastic surgery. Surgery carries risks. Choose cautiously. Once it fails, there is no undo. The love of beauty is universal, but we must choose methods that suit us. Don't pick up sesame seeds and drop the watermelon. Plastic surgery is not the only route to becoming more beautiful, nor is it the best route for everyone. If you want to become more attractive, you must first learn to accept your appearance. Learn to elevate your bearing, choose certified institutions if you proceed, and keep exercising. Everyone has the right to choose. We cannot interfere with others' choices, but when we make our own, we must ensure we won't regret them. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please don't forget to like and support us. Also, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss any updates. If you're willing, please share this video with your friends. Thank you for watching. We've prepared more great content for you. Let's look forward to the next video. See you then. From the perspective of China's social trends, stories like Jin Dawei, Ye Ke, and Han Anran are no longer isolated incidents. They represent a microcosm of modern Chinese society, where physical appearance is rapidly becoming a new form of social capital. According to the China Association of Plastic and Aesthetic Surgery, by 2024, more than 26 million Chinese people had undergone some form of cosmetic procedure or facial injection. Among them, over 68% are under the age of 30, and the beauty industry now generates over 500 billion yuan in annual revenue. This obsession with appearance is booming, but alongside it comes a rising wave of psychological distress, debt, and tens of thousands of surgical complications every year. China's social trends poses the question: is Chinese society entering an era where a person's worth is defined by their face? When millions of young people are willing to risk their health, even their lives, just to look better, is this truly progress or the beginning of a cultural crisis disguised as beauty? What do you think? Is plastic surgery a personal freedom or a dangerous trap that makes people lose themselves? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our upcoming deep dive reports. Thank you for watching this video. See you again in the next episode of China Social Trends.